pudo subirlo al sistema. ¿Querés que se lo mande también a Sandra, así lo ponen en las redes? Capturas de los videos esos. Okay. It's Friday, yeah? Yeah. And I was about to go to the other shooting, the one in DC. I was going on my way there and they said, nah, good.
Crazy tune today.
What's going on, Friday? Yeah. There you go. Okay. Do you have my victims?
LU4 to under 18.
This is a Greenbelt shooting presser.
I don't know that I have the A's.
And you got audio on channel 1, just channel 1. Mic check 1 2 1 2, mic check 1 2 1 2. I'm on a 10-second delay just to have a little bit of a better signal. Tap 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 tap. Sounds good, buddy.
Wouldn't be too much longer, guys. We'll be in here with you. All right?
Perfect. Thank
So
you.
some people will be outside, but we're going to bring inside, so we'll make it work.
One question, sorry. Is there anyone who can speak in Spanish after the conference is done, like to get a soundbite in Spanish for Univision?
Let me check on that so I can make sure I can get one for you.
Thank you.
We got
If
a lot of,
possible.
no, a lot of them are out there at the scene, so I got to see if I can get one of them to bring.
Thank you.
Sure thing, no
We're
problem.
interested in that too, if you can get it. To tell them that.
Yeah.
No problem.
Yeah.
No, look, we aim to please.
Spanish. Good, because we don't translate when we get the shots. We can report what they are saying.
Right.
And when it is like a VOSOT live shot, we don't even use English shots. So
Yeah.
I mean, for us it's better. You know which high school it was? That I don't know.
I know we asked. I don't think the school system got back to us. I didn't see the person.
Ah, good, thank you.
Yeah.
They don't go to school and
Essentially.
they get drunk and all that stuff or not?
Depends on the.
Okay.
Not that I ever did a senior skip day. I know there was a day where everyone said they were going to, but.
No, you don't have something similar.
Good, you're right.
Don't worry. If you're shaking
Can I
I'll
do
let you
this?
know.
Can I do this?
There you go.
I can't pretend I can. Oh. Did you? Okay.
I'm not going, no, I'm just running on.
Okay.
Flag City in this joint, huh?
Yeah, I'm gonna throw mine out there.
God damn. It's fucking Flag City. Must be a bunch of rookies in this joint, man. All right, well, look. We need our advertisement too, so go on and get ours up here.
We were just there.
It's clear.
Yeah. No, like it's clear for traffic to get in.
There you go.
But there's still like a lot of,
You can't see it now.
but there's still like a lot of, like you can see like the police cars at the actual park.
Yeah, I just watched Mary Hill's watch.
But BGBD, that.
Yeah. What? And Alma went like on the opposite side. They stopped in the bar. And then I drove up there and they went talking in about like people were walking up to the scene.
Oh my gosh, why are you calling me? Hey, dude.
And I'm pretty sure some of the kids that were watching it were still watching it after.
Let's see if you can get like an 18-year-old.
Okay.
Yeah.
Usually 10 minutes.
Sure.
Sure.
They're like, we haven't used the volume for a while.
I'll put it up there on the podium. Okay. Well, I'll put it on a chair close enough. All right. Cool. All right, and I'll just meet you, right? You're not gonna yell a question, are you? Yeah. Okay. That's fine. Cool. No problem.
Dion, you want this mic pointing this way?
Ray, what's up?
Oh, how does that even work?
Can you hear it? You see us? My shot? Okay. Oh, what? Yeah. Check 1, 2, 3. All right, sounds good. Bye.
What's the looking?
I was like, that's the last time I was here, was doing that story.
got the nicer.
Same thing.
No, you got the 3.
I work on them better.
Okay.
Mm.
Couldn't afford that extra plan.
Yikes.
You're like, I could tell your pictures look like.
The lizard at that ultra wide.
Your pictures look a little blurry.
Yikes. It's okay.
We all start somewhere.
Right. Okay.
Only can I.
Thanks, Willie. Alright, see you.
Is the camera? You look really excited.
Yeah, I'm just thinking about like what sound are we about to get? We should be out, they should be out there. Now we're gonna be trying to hustle.
And all the neighbors that ever freaked me out.
Hmm?
The neighbors across the street, so there's like a whole community, that's where the teachers live. They're just pulling up right now, like picking up their kids from school.
Yeah.
You know, I used to get yelled at.
I hope Alma's getting sound, like.
She's not,
probably
she's so
still yelling
fucking
at
far
me.
away. Yeah, she's far, far away.
Of course, I remember when they didn't use Mark the live trucks.
We're just showing our age
She's
now.
too far.
We're just showing our age now. How are you? I'm Dion. Carl.
I was gonna get people with,
So,
I was gonna get people with like cell phones, but then they're like, I don't
That's what
have
old
10,
stuff
that's
is.
cool.
I will. We've actually got one parked
And the
outside,
chopper
so
is like.
we're still hanging on. I'm
Kids
surprised.
lined up,
It's
but
too.
there's no.
Well, you know,
Is
we
there like a
started the whole
scene? Oh,
night
yeah.
putting up lights like.
Have you seen the chopper video?
Yeah.
Channel 5 was doing the city on
It's like-
TV.
Kids
Is that what it
running
was?
up and
Oh,
down.
yeah, they.
But then they're not in custody.
Rocks
so-
thrown at them, they used to get shot at.
You see the Kill Nose video?
Yeah.
I remember that.
There's another one too.
You know, we need all the ratings.
Under the tent?
Was it like Grand?
Child 9, get it in somewhere. Right there. Understand?
Why were they doing that? Why were they in school?
In 17 you were in
So see, but is it a plan? Is it organized?
Yeah.
Like
Like
the
not
county?
organized, but no, it's basically like it's organized
By the
informally.
students.
Yeah.
That's what I was saying, like back when I was at Wooten before they
Yeah,
were.
that's what I tried to go with. When I got
Like there was the senior skip day, but like I don't think I participated in it. Like some.
You participate?
I got this right here. Yeah, you know I got this right here.
That was scary.
Let's pull the record.
Prince William County?
And it was a clear blue sky day. I'm telling you something.
Yeah. Legend.
Are you okay?
He went on into you got.
Yeah, just trying to tighten this.
Why is your mic not facing the person who's gonna speak?
It is.
No,
Dion.
Channel 9.
Oh.
Are you not trying to catch the sound?
I was trying to move it, but it's like impossible.
Like Bruce, he got new desk there every day. I thought Ted was gonna.
This ain't starting on time.
And better than it was.
I have a 5:30 hit.
Allegedly, I did some.
I'm at 6, so I have time.
Then they get what they need.
He trained me, so.
He left our place, he like dropped off the patient here.
Shoulders or hip or something. You know, we all gotta have surgery.
I don't know. One night, he almost got fist fight with a guy. He was in the drive-through. Getting rocks out, and this guy started pulling this one out. And Bruce got up. He went.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking about, like my actual sound. Video. It's gonna be dark.
Always, you know, they didn't know that he was a Golden Gloves
They did.
person, so I was like.
Do y'all have 2 cameras? You have someone out there?
You know what? We don't got nothing to hold
Oh, they
that
just
stuff.
out there, at least.
Is it just you?
Yes, you
I
can
was
punch
doing
it
nothing
first.
dumb.
And then they called me and said, hey, staging area, press run. I know, I already.
Good old Uncle Bruce.
Police station.
Oh, let me call my.
Still doing that?
Let me ask my
He must be like 105 years old.
Oh, that close.
If she can get
They
some
were
sleep.
calling her.
How you go?
Cause I saw her.
I saw her over there.
I drove by and I was like,
He was in great shape though.
This class, I mean, the guys, and I'm just reading this one about sound for when they leave. You know, Alma is efforting to
it was still closed, you just walk up.
You went up that trail.
And I heard she's far. Like, the reporters are telling me she's far.
I got some. He make that.
Yeah. Yeah, Rob saying she's too far down.
Don't tell mommy, she's gonna be like, kind of.
Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah, where do we go?
Okay. I mean, we'll definitely go there after this, but I'm like, damn, people coming home from work and stuff, like, that's all happening, I think now and the next
And all your vet, a lot of stuff.
Yes.
No, I mean, we're all
That's
here
what I
leaving,
mean.
but I just think that they did this intentionally, like, to pull us away from the scene, because one of the reporters was saying there was still so many kids out there, so, I mean, they probably just wanted
Everybody in the room, who did senior skip day, raise your hand.
It's okay, let's give it a couple.
I don't remember
We haven't
seeing
started yet, but I'll text you.
I was just talking, I was trying
to go to college.
I think there was a day that we were gonna do it, but most people didn't do it.
Are you kidding me? I see 1, 2 hands, that's it? Boy,
Did
Fox
senior
5 up
skip
there.
day?
I remember doing junior skip.
I
We're not
remember
recording.
After the
I don't know what that is.
I'm sorry, not that. No, go.
Juniors.
You don't even know what it is?
I know what it is, but we didn't have that.
Yeah, we have
Or
immigrant
maybe I
parents.
wasn't part of the cool.
We have immigrant parents, they would have whipped us.
My mom knew when I wasn't in school.
They would have hospitalized us during the weekend.
Come on, that's like.
Just for the weekend.
It's been on TV.
But come back on Monday.
Really?
No. I was more scared of the wrath of my mom than.
Yeah.
Still are, right?
I went off to lunch to Taco Bell one time and I was like this in the whole time. To Taco Bell.
Apparently this group though, it was like 500 people out there.
500 to 600.
That's nuts.
That was the whole.
But it was from different schools, they said.
Oh, okay.
Different schools in the area.
Billy High School, they got 2,800 students at that school. It's a big school.
And that was a party in there.
Billy has almost 3,000 students.
It must be a party. Party like this.
You didn't see the little.
No, the girl was, she was dancing.
Water gun turns to bullets.
Pretty over the non
I can play around with
We don't have video.
Let me show you if Shamari was doing it.
It happened here, and the kids were walking along here.
It's crazy.
I never
Water
saw
guns
one
turn to
that
bullets.
did it.
That's what that would lead to. That's right.
I wonder how Kilmo got the video. Let's see.
Now they all gotta write letters. I wanna graduate, I'm sorry, I got
Mhm.
senior skip day.
No one's walking across the stage.
They gonna get a beat down from,
You know what the tactic is, if you're in this room, and wait until our batteries die, then you're gonna do this conversation.
something like
That's
that.
it. That's the tactic.
And,
Yes.
anything about 5:30 still?
No.
If we're waiting for this, we're just waiting for this, right?
Yeah, I feel like they should just take this live if it's at
I feel like they
5:30.
gave me drugs to like
Cause I wonder like, what would I say? We're still waiting?
get it together and then.
What you gonna do with your story?
Then my highs dying.
I'll message Christy like in Abby and
I'm gonna work on
Let
it.
me, I'm
I'm
just.
gonna do it.
I'm gonna do it for 11 o'clock.
Okay, okay. Wait, are you rolling just in case they come out when you go? Oh, it's not that far.
That's a good story.
Yes, it is.
Just in case. Okay.
I'm not even doing the intro though. Cause I can't be like, kids told me here.
Literally.
I can't be like, kids told me that they feel safe
Just
from
set
the
up my
mission.
Wi-Fi over at the city.
Really?
And
He can mix it.
I said, I'll go over to the news.
We're going straight to the volunteer, going, hey baby.
I didn't
I know
shoot
they
clean.
get Dutch dollars to their water gun.
I'm sure it'll be there for a while.
No, but it was a good story. I made graphics under it. I had the scripts basically, and you could insert like names. Like, that shit's airing.
They'll give it to somebody else.
Thanks, Rob.
And I can't wait till Monday.
No.
Hey, what's up?
The first week wrapped up today.
You don't have any audio?
Just imagine
Ryan?
interviews, they should be on like.
Yeah, no, it's Ryan, but hello, can you hear me? No? You can't hear me?
I texted her, hey, I feel so sorry. And the guy that was like, hey.
I'm literally at the podium. Do you not see me, Katie?
It's like a 20 second.
Oh. So the reason that there's no audio is because it's not on. Now it is.
Yeah.
You hear me now? Do you hear me now? Mic check, mic check. I literally just turned it on. 20 seconds, you said? Oh, it was off. Hold on a second.
It starts off with Alexis and
Is it happening soon? I have no idea. Until. What? I never gave you a thumbs up. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, but. You know when
Okay,
you
wonderful.
compare to these people?
Bye.
These are my connections.
Like a
Actually,
Verizon
they
commercial.
talk about me and
Fine,
you
can you hear me now?
connection on the internet.
Compressor, but it's like,
Yeah,
yeah, we can't.
No, I thought I turned it back on.
Yeah, I told him it's tiny.
And the mics are plugged in. So they
What's that?
they're putting
Yeah, I'm used to having them away from me before I was on the hill. How do you put everything together? You get out of black paper, right?
Have we met? I'm sorry, I'm Dion.
I don't think so. Name's Nana.
Nana?
Yes, good to
Nana?
meet you. Yes, what's your name?
Nana.
Oh,
Dion.
Dia. Good to meet
I
you.
thought you were saying Donna too. I was like, yeah, why are you lying?
That's not your name.
How long you been?
2 years next month.
He's just had his eyes closed the whole time.
No, really?
I work night side though.
Yeah, okay. I can't stay up past 8:30.
Wait, Rafi, are you a day side?
Yes.
Oh, you're a day side? Oh, Carl's the night side. Oh.
Yeah.
Why do they have you here? Wait, are you day side?
Hmm?
Are you day side?
I'm night side.
Okay.
Great question, Donna.
You should just be
Can we,
at the
can we cue up that camera?
Thank you.
Have her ask it out loud.
You should be at the scene.
Ooh, that hurt.
Hello. Are you coming from the scene?
No.
No.
No, I'm coming from Rockville Court.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking.
Much
you
less
got that
exciting.
wrong, 'cause I mean, yeah.
It's being held with no bond. They said 5:15 and here we are, 5:23.
Right.
Yeah.
They're listening to us, I know it.
Of course they are.
That's fine. That's fine.
They're listening.
We expect detailed information. You moved us from the scene.
Do not read off the press release.
There was some cameras in here, so I'm looking.
We expect photographs.
Hey, anybody look at the chopper video? I didn't see it.
Yeah, there were kids on that.
There you go. Kickstarted. Just like look at a middle page.
Man.
See what you need to do.
Thanks.
On the side of the top.
That's gonna be too thick.
You're gonna take it. It'll be sharp to put your about 30.
Let's see if we can do this.
No, you can try not to be in. Is that made by Joe, right? Yeah, I'll be ready once I get started.
All right, no problem. Appreciate it. Now you're good. I just want a place to stick my notes. Almost? We're good. Okay. Thank you. Carter, you ready?
Good evening, everyone. My name is Rico Dennis. I'm the PIO with the Greenbelt Police Department. To my right, we have Chief Richard Bowers, Mayor Emmett Jordan, City Manager Jose Salmaron. We have Senator Alonzo Washington, Councilmember Silky Pope, Councilmember Jenny Pompey, and Councilmember Danielle McKinney. I'll get things started with, we had a tragic event today, and I'm gonna turn things over to the Chief of Police.
Thank you. Good evening. Thank you for coming. So I will start with a recap of what happened today. Somewhere at about 2:30 this afternoon, officers from the Greenbelt Police Department responded to Schramm Hills Park, which is located in the 6900 block of Hanover Parkway. When they arrived on scene, the original officer discovered about 500 to 600 what he believed to be high school students in the park. For those that have not been there, this park is not big, so that's a lot of kids jammed into this particular space. He requested additional officers to respond to the park, and a number of officers from the Greenbelt Police Department as well as the Prince George's County Police Department and the Maryland State Police responded to provide assistance. Officers arrived on scene and began trying to control traffic and the crowd as well. And while those officers were walking into the park, they heard the sound of gunshots. They believed at that time to be a number of shots, not verified, but 8 to 10 gunshots. Officers then immediately responded to where those shots came from in an active shooter response. Not only members of the Greenbelt Police Department, again, Prince George's County Police Department and the Maryland State Police. Officers responded. They located 5 wounded individuals. They immediately began providing medical care to those individuals while they secured the area and searched for a suspect. At that moment, when the shots were fired, all of those individuals that were in the park began to flee out on the Hanover Parkway. When they did that, we believe that the suspect left with them and fled the park. We had not located him at this point. Officers provided medical care to those 5 individuals who were transported to local hospitals. The age range of those 5 individuals is 16 to 18. All 5 were taken to an area hospital. 1 is in critical condition. The other 4 are listed as in stable condition. This is currently an active investigation, and we are looking for any information from those individuals who may have been at the party to be able to help us identify this particular suspect. Anybody who has information can contact the Greenbelt Police Department at 301-474-7200. me say that this is a horrible, tragic, senseless act that happened today. There's absolutely no reason that this occurred. It is senseless. It is chronic in our society, and we have to do something to stop it. These were kids on senior skip day who were looking to have a good time in a local park. And to have something like this occur is just, it's maddening, honestly. And there's not enough words to say for the condolences to the individuals that were there, to their classmates, to the school, to our community. This isn't just going to be something that affects a small group of people. This affects not only the city of Greenbelt, but our entire county, our entire state. These are kids, these are high school kids, and this is just unnecessary, unacceptable. And we have to come together and find a way to keep this from happening. You know, there's, again, I'm pretty upset by this, and there's got to be a way to get this to stop happening. With that, I'll ask my city manager to come forward and say a few words.
Thank you, Police Chief. This is a very unfortunate event that happened. There's really no words to say how senseless this violence is. And I agree with the chief that we have to find ways of getting guns off our streets and doing more on how we can help our young people have better relationships with each other, because these are young people hurting each other. Like Chief said, this is an investigation, so we'll have further evidence and details to highlight in the coming days. And I hope that we can find a resolution and find the person responsible or persons responsible for this senseless act of violence. Now, leading up to the event, our officers were on scene, and I feel fortunate that we had so many officers already on the scene that were there, and I'm sure that that helped in reducing the number of victims in this incident. I also am grateful for the numerous law enforcement agencies that were already on site and provided an immediate response to this incident. And that includes the Prince George's County Police, Berwyn Heights, Maryland State Police. We also had support from ATF and the FBI, and we're grateful for all the assistance that we receive. Moving forward, we're gonna be diligent about these unscheduled activities that are happening in our community. We're gonna play a greater role in tracking and reporting these incidents. With that said, thank you for your patience as we look for swift resolutions to this open case and this investigation. And I'll hand the floor over to our mayor.
Good afternoon. So it's my understanding that this was a senior skip day meetup informally organized on social media. So I've been told that the group migrated here from another area. So our schools and recreational facilities in Greenbelt were locked down, and we've closed them out of an abundance of caution. So I'm just grateful that our officers were able to quickly help on the scene, and we're grateful for the support of the county and the state. I received a call from the governor stating his support. So our thoughts are with the families, with the classmates, and with the victims. It's unnecessary. And if a group of high school students cannot get together and have a good time, what is the world coming to? So we're shocked. We're grateful for the support, but we have to find a way to deal with situations like this before they happen. So at this time, I think we're going to take questions. Senator Washington, did you have some remarks?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Good evening, everyone. My name is Alonzo Washington. I'm a state senator that represents Greenbelt in this area. Today is a tough day for not only Greenbelters, but for Marylanders. To see the senseless violence happen right here in our home, right here in my hometown of Greenbelt, is hurtful. It's not hurtful to me, but it's hurtful to the entire state. Our students and our families deserve a safe place, even in a grocery store or at a park. They deserve to be safe. And unfortunately, unfortunately that happened today. Our students were not safe, and they deserve to be safe. And so we're gonna do everything we can to provide the resources that our city needs and our county needs to make sure we bring the individuals that caused this to justice. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Senator. So before we start taking questions, just a couple of points. Like I said, this is an active investigation, so at this time we won't release a lot of information onto the details of that particular investigation. I will say, one of the things that in these kinds of instances, the officers were there, and what they did to get out there and make sure that nobody else was injured and provide medical aid, it's the kind of thing that really, is what they're trained to do on a regular basis. And I can't thank the individual officers enough for their response, not only our officers with the City of Greenbelt, but the Prince George's County and the Maryland State Police officers. They all responded effectively, utilized their training to secure the scene and provide medical care. And then that could be the difference between somebody making it to the hospital and somebody not. So can't say enough about the quality of the response from the officers. Really want to thank them. Thank you for coming and making this story public. The Prince George's County Fire Department was on scene and really was a big benefit. They provided all that medical care and transport, so thank you to them. And to the families of those young men that were injured, again, I have kids. I can't imagine if my kids were involved in something like that. My heart breaks for them. These are just kids trying to have a good time, and this is what we're treating our kids to, and it's how they're growing up. It's completely, I'm speechless. And so to those parents, my heart breaks for them. And a speedy recovery to their kids, and anything we can do to close that investigation, we will. So at this point, I'll take a handful of questions. I want to be respectful of everybody's time. Councilmember Pope? No? Okay. I'll take questions. We'll start. Yes, ma'am.
Chief, do you know if there was more than one shooter?
At this time, I can't confirm the number of suspects involved, but we believe there was one.
We're hearing stuff about water guns as well. Was this happening at this park or the previous event that was taking place in Bowie?
No, that was here. So what happens is on the kids leave the school and they come over to the local park and they bring super soakers and other squirt guns and they have a good time playing water gun battles. Happened last year and it was relatively peaceful. The number of occasions we had last year, we didn't have any incidents. And so this is unfortunate. Like I said, we were all high school kids one time or another, and so we might not condone skipping school, but it's the senior skip day, and this kind of thing is just. It's a tragedy that happens on such an occasion for these kids.
Chief, you mentioned last year the incident. How much, if anything, was known about this event that was coming, and was there any stance that was taken?
We did not know about this until it happened. And one of the things that occurs is the city has park rangers, and they make regular patrols through that park. They had been through the park a little after 1:30, and there was nobody there. When we got the second call to come back just before 2:30, that's when all these kids materialized in the park. So it is something that we're aware of, and we patrol the parks regularly, whether it be police staff or our park ranger staff. So we do have a presence in the parks on a pretty regular basis, and it was in a pretty short time frame that all of these individuals showed up. Yes, sir.
Chief, and you mentioned ages 16, 18, all male?
Yes, sir.
And then just to follow up, completely blanked out. Sorry, come back to me.
Yes, sir.
How many high schools were involved in this, do you know?
I do not know the number of schools that were involved.
Gotcha. And you said one in critical, the other 4 stable.
Yes, sir.
Stable is not a condition. Do you know fair, good?
What I was told by the hospital is stable.
Okay.
So, Chief, is it fair to say that these were hundreds of high school seniors from different high schools in the district? Or are there 1 or 2 specific schools? Because we know it started in Bowie.
Yeah, I don't know how many different schools are associated, and I don't want to speculate at this point because I don't know. I do know that there were kids from Eleanor Roosevelt High School, as well as kids from perhaps Bowie and maybe some of the other adjoining high schools.
Chief, there's some video of quite a few young men being detained. Looked like there was a vehicle that was pulled over and about 11 young men. Can you tell me about that process, if anybody's being looked at, if those people are still being detained?
So that was just part of the routine, I don't want to say routine, that initial response and stopping and identifying individuals that may or may not have what we believed at that time to have been associated. All those individuals have been cleared at this point and released.
Were there any security cameras in the area?
No, there are no security cameras there.
So, Chief, what are you relying on to help solve this? There was no cameras. Are you just hoping that the students speak?
We are hoping that that the students will come forward. We're already starting to see some video online, and we know that there's going to be a lot more of that kind of video out there. So we're really hoping that the students will start sending us that video, or at least post it so we can get it from there, because we know that the person involved is definitely on a camera somewhere. Like I said, there was about 20 police officers, so we have a lot of body-worn camera footage, and so we'll scrub through all of that as well as we try to locate anybody that might have been involved. Yes, sir.
What's your preliminary understanding of possible motives here?
We have nothing at this point. I wouldn't even want to begin to speculate on what a motive was.
Were the victims random, as you understand it?
I can't answer that question. I don't know.
What was, I guess, the goal of having the officers there in the first place, and what was the time frame between them getting there and these shots being fired?
They had been on scene about 10 to 15 minutes, I believe, before the shots were fired. You know, obviously the reason they were there is because when you have 500 to 600 kids in a park, I mean, there's a lot of things that can happen, and so that presence to make sure that it stays as a relatively fun event for the kids was the entire purpose. The other issue that we had was the traffic along the adjoining roadway was completely stopped from all the cars, and so they had to get that relieved as well as monitor the crowd. Our initial response was to simply monitor the crowd and let them use the park. It's a lawful activity. There'd be no reason to kick them out of the park, and so we were going to let them use the park, and unfortunately, it didn't happen.
Chief, can you just talk to us? Obviously, 500 to 600 people there with the officers responding. It's a huge crowd. I mean, they're overwhelmed in the sense of you are controlling it, but you're seeing this huge number. Can you just walk us through, because I don't think people understand that, they can't have their eyes obviously on this entire group of people when you say, that once they're there.
Absolutely. So I'm saying 500 to 600, and it could have been a larger group. One officer thinks it was closer to 1,000. So you're talking about 25 to 30 police officers on scene. That's a really big group in an open environment for 25 to 30 police officers. And so you're not going to see everything that's happening. And they had just begun to make entry into the park, so it was relatively early on.
Can you tell us where the injured people were located once they were, where in the park? I know
they were located near the pavilion area.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You're talking about being more diligent about these unscheduled events in the future. What really can be done? Are we talking about monitoring social media? Or are we talking about a crackdown altogether on these skip days?
No, I don't think we're talking about a crackdown altogether. I think it is a combination of things. Monitoring the park facilities through either law enforcement, the police department, or the park ranger staff. Use of other technology, cameras, things like that to keep a handle on what's happening at the park. And then talking with the kids, right? Going over to the school. We have an SRO located at Eleanor Roosevelt. So communicating with the kids, making sure that when they're going to have these events at the park, that we know it's happening and we're able to provide a safe environment. Any last one more question from anybody? No? Thank you very much. I really appreciate you coming. Thank you.